I've driven something like 30 cars on this channel now, and some really interesting ones and some really nice cars that I've really enjoyed driving. But I'm never disappointed to get back in this car at the end of the day when I'm driving home from location or whatever I'm doing. So I know that I've got the right car for me. So it's been quite a little while since I've had this CLK on the channel. It's my own personal car, the Mercedes-Benz CLK 200 Kompressor. And it's a car that I've had now for about 18 months. I bought it in November 2020. I was getting inundated by comments on all my other videos saying, well, you know, where's the CLK, what's going on with it? And when I say inundated, I think I've had one message from somebody on a couple of videos saying, how's the CLK? So really this is just an excuse for me to get the car back on the channel and have a chat about it. In that time I've done around about 9,000 miles. I've taken it from the very low mileage of 23,000 up to, it's currently on 32,641 miles. What I thought I would do is just basically talk you through what it's cost me to run it since I first got the car. First of all, how much did I pay for this car back in November 2020? £6,395 for it. I actually bought it from a showroom that some people might be familiar with. It's Romilly Garage. It's where Mr. High Peak Autos, Matt, sells all his cars from. Now, it wasn't from him, it was from his colleague. He saw that garage come up on Auto Trader, and I knew that I could trust it. The next thing, now I mentioned this in the Peak District Drive video, so I'll leave a link to that at the end. £400 on new Dunlop tyres, 245 quid for the two rear tyres because they're wide, and then 160 for the front. Then I got some wiper blades because they were squeaking, so I got some Bosch Aero Twin wipers. Now, highly recommend them. They cost me like 19 quid and they're still working fine now. The B service cost me, looking back on it, I maybe was overcharged a bit. I've since found it cheaper elsewhere, but £412.91 with including a brake fluid change. I won't go on about that because you've got a video to watch, and I'll put a link to that one at the end as well if you want to know the details of the B service. The gearbox multi-plug. So it's this plug that plugs into the gearbox. Again, I mentioned it in the other video. It was oil, leaking oil out of it and stuff. £76.42 to repair. Next up, it was time for the first MOT in my ownership. I would like to say it passed with flying colours, but there was one issue, and that was a broken front coil spring. It was the offside front coil spring. Apparently it's quite a common issue with these CLKs because they're quite heavy, particularly obviously with this car. It's got the sports kit on it, the sports suspension, the wheels are lower profile and stuff, so I imagine that the shocks and forces that go through those springs are quite high, so they snap. That cost me £125.26 and then £45 for the MOT, and then there was nothing else wrong with it, passed with flying colours. Unfortunately, I've got history for the other front spring, which has been done, so we know that's okay. Recently, I had the rear brake discs and pads done because it was kind of like getting a bit of vibration at higher speeds. It was kind of slightly annoying, like rumbling when I was braking from like 50 or 60 miles an hour. This car is like a smooth, comfortable cruiser, and I just want it to be perfect. You know, it can blast up and down the motorway. You can have fun driving it around the twisty bends, and it's a great all-round car, and I just want it to be sorted. So I got those brakes done. My local garage did that for £218.38, which I was pretty pleased with actually. The brand they used is Durid, which I think are quite a respectable German brand of brake discs and pads. Finally, the only other thing, now this hasn't been done yet, but it's coming up in the next month, is the A service, which is the cheaper service. I know that I can get that done for about £150. So the total price for all the servicing and maintenance and parts and stuff has been £1,405.60. Now, I'm pretty pleased with that. To run a car like this for a year and a half and only have those costs is all right, really, and hopefully it'll be all right. You know, with nice tyres and brakes and stuff, it'll keep going for a while. Now, this car was on a 56 plate, so this car was actually sold originally in November 2006. For me, getting that private plate on was more about just like a detail on the car. I think it just makes the car look a little bit more unique and unusual to anyone who even notices. I bought that for £30. Well, I bought the rights to it for £30, but then of course you need to transfer it. Now the DVLA don't make that cheap, so that was 80 quid to transfer it, and then 24 quid to get the plates printed off. So that's 134 quid. Yeah, it's a waste of money that. It's just a Northern Irish plate, you shouldn't have bothered. Oh, also, please like this video. Thanks. The only other things to talk about in terms of costs, we've got the fuel that I've spent over the 9,500 miles that I've done. The fuel has cost me £1,705 for those miles. Now, I imagine in today's prices, with the current way it's going, that's going to be a bit more. I've been getting 32.6 mpg average because I've logged it all in Fuelio. I have to say, I'm actually quite a economical, sedate kind of driver most of the time, so it's not the best fuel economy, especially for a 1.8 litre engine like this. I mean, it is supercharged, but it's not super quick. I do give it the odd blast now and again on around some twisty roads and have a bit of fun, but then I didn't buy this car for fuel economy. The tax per month on the CLK 200, not too bad at £29.75. I've spent £535.50 on tax. Insurance, this CLK 200 is in insurance group 35, which is 35 out of 50, so it's on the higher end, but not too bad. I mean, obviously it'll vary in what country you're in. In the UK, it depends on where you live and how old you are and how long you've been driving and all sorts, so there's not much point in me telling you how much my insurance is, but it's quite reasonable, to be fair. To compare it to a slightly quicker CLK, let's say a mid-spec CLK 350, which are quite fast, you're talking insurance group 42, so it's 7 groups higher. If you want to know anything about this car, got any questions, queries, do comment below. If you've got any ideas for future videos, also do comment below. That's it, come on. Come on. Run to the side, not straight away in the front. Good, good, good sheep. Well done. Yeah, so if you want to see a video on the B service and what that entails and all the costs and everything, click up here. And if you want to see a video of me driving this car around some twisty country Peak District roads and trying out the new Dunlop tyres, then click down there. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.